Regal Vise, manufacturer of the world's best fly tying vices and accessories. Today we're here at the Partridge Fly Tying Days presented by Deddy. Regal had a little hand in this event also. I'm sitting here with Dave Brandt. We're going to do a quick little fly tying demonstration for you. So Dave's going to show us how he likes to tie his wood duck wings for a traditional Catskill Dry.
So I've got quite a few fibers off this side. One of the things I'd like you to notice is that when you use wood duck feathers that are properly sized for the hook you're using, the amount of barb length that I want for actual wing is long enough for this hook size using this feather, so that I don't have to consider removing that stem, which was old advice given to that. You had to take that center out. Well, if you use the right size feather, you don't even have to think about that. But I am going to take a few more barbs off the other side just to get this slightly more symmetrical, and still leaving myself plenty of fibers for the task. So there is just about what I want. A couple more out. That should give me 70 or so barbs for this size 12. Now I want to gather all this stuff, and I'm really pummeling it, trying to bring it in toward the center part of the feather, and then I'm going to trade hands at the end, and I hope to have sticking out just about the length that I want for that hook size. This is a little long, so I'm going to kind of re-grab it like so. I'm going to use the essential pinch to put this on top of the hook. Like so. I'm going to go in tight touching turns straight back to the rear, and I only go far enough as to equal the length of space I'm going to want hackle when I come to finish this fly. Then I come straight on top of myself, and with tight touching turns go back to my starting point, and I have one more chance to adjust for the 30% that I'm looking for there. I'm going to cut this off, and it's a little contrary to a lot of what you hear suggested. I like to cut it off flush so I can mount trimmed tail butts to trimmed wing butts, and I use it as a stopping gauge. So now I'm going to bring that wing upright, come right tight to the front of it, and go straight forward in tight touching turns to where I first attach the thread, come on top of myself, and go straight to the rear with similar turns. And I wanted that to jump upright, which it did. That's great. Next step is to divide this into two essentially equal groups. So you got to have good enough eyes to count these barbs. Now what I'm going to do is figure 8, lash, wing and hook, and then one more figure 8. So I've got that essentially divided into two. I would like a couple more barbs from the far wing, and we're going to go with this. So I'm going to come up between the two, holding the near wing. When I get well down around the far side, I'm going to grasp the far wing and come up around it only, not the hook. Then I'm going to come up around the near wing only and not the hook. So I have made my first figure 8. Now I'm going to lash in, I'm going to stay in that same track, go front to back, cross underneath, go back to front, and now I've lashed hook and wing. I'm going to come up in front and do one more figure 8. And I walk back and drop off of that and get ready to do the tail.
Fantastic, Dave. Beautiful example of how to tie a wood duck wing on a traditional Catskill dry fly. Thanks again for coming on and sharing that with us.
My pleasure.
Regal Vice, manufacturer of the world's best fly tying vices and accessories.